Alex, we had a very intense rain band just about a half an hour ago. Came through here. Whenever you're next to a building, the wind can really accelerate. We're gusting over 60 miles an hour. What happened was, see up on the side of the building here, the hotel that's next to us, that piece came right down, and now it's littered all around the street. You've got pieces of that roof. So that's how we get a lot of the damage to storm like this. Yes, there's the wind right at the shore, which is not as intense as what's right next to the building. So once the air hits some of those structures, it accelerates. It can rip pieces off. That can become dangerous. We've also seen a lot of tree limbs starting to come down, and you can see one of the street signs, the stop sign at the end of the road, that was taken down as well. Keep in mind, the eye is still a long way away. We're going to have several hours of intensifying weather before things start to get any better. One thing that we also have noticed, and of course now that I want to talk about it, not here, there's been a ton of traffic, people who have been going up and down the street, just yelling, taking a look at the weather. They want to be out in it. Just urging people, please do not travel today. They've shut down the Midtown Tunnel. They've also shut down the Hampton Road Bridge Tunnel. And they'll probably be looking at more closures as the day goes on. If you go out on the road and you're driving around just looking for a good time, if you get in trouble, the rescue crews have to come out in this as well. We don't want anyone out in the streets as the storm continues to ramp up. And when we get some of those heavier bands rolling through, that's when we can really get into trouble. Keep in mind, west of Rocky Mount, North Carolina, we've already seen someone killed this morning because of a tree falling down. So well inland, you can get the gusts. It's just a dangerous day to be outside. It's not worth it. It's a good day to stay indoors and into safety.
Yeah, absolutely. And even for those who are able to drive through with those maybe powerful SUVs that feel heavily weighted down with the winds and the rains, that projectile that you saw at the top of this report, you get things coming off of buildings and flying your way, and it doesn't matter what kind of a car you might be in, because that's dangerous.
Yeah, absolutely. And with an SUV, you're higher profile. I mean, you're just going to catch more wind. So you're actually more in harm's way when you have an SUV because of that wind profile. And the winds will increase as the day goes on. We've also had reports of tornadoes in the area. None of those are confirmed just yet. However, 3 houses have already lost their roofs over on Sandbridge Beach. That's a portion of Virginia Beach that was under a mandatory evacuation.
Okay, well, Eric Fisher clearly braving things for us there in Norfolk, Virginia. Eric, thank you so much. Take some cover because those winds like they're about to gut you away. Thank you. We've been talking about the tweets all day, and many of you have been sharing online your thoughts about the hurricane, and here are some of the tweets we've been getting here at MSNBC using that hashtag Irene. Poet Icon 98 sends us a question asking, if lower Manhattan floods from the storm surge or rain, is there a risk to the 9/11 Memorial Museum that is underground zero? You know what? That is a very good question, Poet Icon 98. We're making some calls. We're going to get the answer for you and report them here later on MSNBC Saturday. Jimmy J. Scott tweets, Irene passed parallel to Boca Raton, Florida. Lucky for us, it was far out in the ocean. Still got some heavy rains and wind. It took out some trees. PM Foundation says power just went off and on a couple of times here in North Raleigh. Uh-oh for that. Mike Bettis from the Weather Channel, he's tweeting some advice for all of you out there. It is worth sandbagging around your doors and ground level windows to try to keep out the rainwater in the Northeast. So thank you very much for all of your responses. Keep them coming to us here. Remember, at MSNBC and use that hashtag Irene. So we're coming to the end of this hour right now as we leave you with a picture of New York City, everybody. That is Times Square. Here's what's important about New York City. In addition to the fact that they're waiting for Irene to come ashore later on sometime tonight in the wee morning hours, 5 minutes from now, mass transportation throughout the city of New York will be shut down. That includes Long Island Railroad, Metro North Railroads, all subways, all bus service. Anything that has public transportation to it will be shut down. So if you needed to use public transportation to evacuate some 370,000 in front of you of those low-lying areas, you better already have done it or get in your cars and get out. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Alex Witt. My colleague Tamron Hall is coming on stage next. Is following Hurricane Irene. In fact, we've got some new live pictures from Nags Head, North Carolina, where at least one person is dead in that state. They say killed out of his blown the storm. And Irene first made landfall in North Carolina at dawn. A potentially catastrophic run up the U.S. East Coast. Here's the Weather Channel's Mike Seidel reporting from Nags Head, North Carolina, just earlier today.
These homes here, again, they're what you can't see is as the wind gets channeled between some of these buildings here, some of these homes, I can see now that large sections of clapboard and
Yeah, as you can see, the TV is like breaking up right now, so.
And right now, tropical storm conditions are being felt across the East Coast, from coastal Virginia to Maryland and Delaware. New York is just beginning to get hit. Rain is falling in the city. Mayor Michael Bloomberg has ordered everyone out of the city's low-lying areas.
Staying behind is dangerous. Staying behind is foolish, and it's against the law. And we urge everybody in the evacuation zone not to wait until there are gale force winds and driving rain to leave.
So let's get you caught up right now with Weather Channel's veteran hurricane Brian Norcross. So Brian, where do things stand, you might say, right now?
Well, right now, the hurricane, as you say, has come ashore, Tamarin, and it is pounding eastern North Carolina. Now, the pictures you see are from the beach. The beach is very resilient. Where the real problems are right now are inland in these waterways, and that is our fear all the way up the coast. This hurricane is driving water up there 7 feet high in the Neuse River near New Bern. The water spreading into neighborhoods there, and you can see already in Virginia, 200,000 people without power, and that's spreading up the Delmarva Peninsula. This is going to rapidly move north. It will be in the New York City area later today as a beginning, but it's going to take a long time for this to go by. So because of the long duration of this event of just pounding water in, here's Chesapeake Bay here, all the way up to Annapolis and points north, water is going to rise in the bay because there's going to be a steady pressure on that. So all of the hazards we've talked about are now underway. At the coast, you have ocean water rising. At every inlet, you have the water rising because the ocean is being pushed up all the rivers and inlets and bays. And inland, we have this tremendous amount of rain. Beaufort, North Carolina, which is right down here, has had 10 inches of rain already, and we expect actually heavier rain with the hurricane moving north as the moisture is pushed up against the higher terrain of the inland sections of New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York State, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine, all, and not to mention Maryland and Delaware, all at threat for major flooding to the west of the storm. You can see the rain there. Look at that. That's going to be 10, 12 hours, maybe more, of very heavy rain over saturated ground with winds blowing over 50 miles an hour in the inland sections. The coastal sections, it's all about rising water, rising ocean, and it's life-threatening conditions in those evacuation zones, and that's why they have ordered the evacuations, and we just hope that people have gotten out, Tammy.
Absolutely.